Hi everyone, how is it going? Today I'd like to talk about George R. Martin's books. I'll show you some editions I have here and I'd like to comment some things about them. I'd like to start with the American Standard hardcover collection. I think the quality is quite pleasing and the price is reasonable. Here I have A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, and A Storm of Swords. I have read these first 3 books and I still have to read A Feast for Crows and the last book published so far, A Dance with Dragons. As you may notice, this edition is quite different from the previous I've shown you. Here we have some nice metallic details. I don't know why this edition is different. I got it without knowing it. And inside is also different. The other books are black and this one is white and it has nice metallic details, but it's different from the first ones I own. Here we have the 5 books together, so it's clear it's not the same collection, so I still have to search for the black hardcover edition of A Dance with Dragons. Next, I have a really cool book for A Game of Thrones fans. This is the World of Ice and Fire, the untold history of Westeros. It was written by George R. Martin in co-authorship with 2 other authors, and this book is quite amazing. The quality, the binding is quite flexible, the colors of the illustrations, and it's full of them. It's amazing and I'm a big fan of this edition. I still have to read it, I must confess, but it was a nice purchase. I do recommend this edition for A Game of Thrones fans. It has the entire lore, it tells the story before A Song of Ice and Fire. The illustrations are a plus and it makes the experience of reading the 5 books published so far a much more profound experience, because when someone talks about a certain character, I think we'll be able to understand his backstory and to get more information about the world building and the characters. So I hope I'll be able to read this book soon. I'll probably do this before I will read the first 3 books and continue reading the 2 books I still haven't read. So I do recommend this one, especially because of the illustrations. But the illustrations here are a plus. I think the most important thing about this book is the massive amount of information about the characters and the world building. I also have this illustrated edition I've shown you. I'll put the link for you to watch if you haven't watched it yet. This is a signed copy and it is an illustrated edition of the first book, black and white illustrations and some few amazing color illustrations. And next we have A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, also with illustrations. The artist is Gary Gianni. It takes place nearly a century before the events of A Game of Thrones. This book deserves definitely more attention. In the future I hope I'll be able to review it and show you the illustrations and talk about its content. The Ice Dragon is a children's book set in the same universe of A Song of Ice and Fire, and it has lavish illustrations by Louise Royal, and this edition is really cool. This book tells the story of a young girl and her dragon, and it is on my TBR. Last but not least, I also have a Brazilian collection. Here we have the 5 books of A Song of Ice and Fire. This is a hardcover collection. Each book comes in a blue slipcase with golden details. The spine's quite nice, and inside I enjoy the quality of the paper. It's cream colored with nice margins. But these books are massive and they are quite heavy, so I don't think I'll be reading them soon, but still it's nice to have editions in Portuguese. Maybe someday they will be useful. I like to read translations after I read the original work, so this is a nice collection and the price is also pleasing. So here we have another and the last collection I have of A Song of Ice and Fire. So I consider myself a George R. R. Martin fan, but I must confess also that I have a lot of reading to catch up with this series, and I have to read this book, this companion book, The World of Ice and Fire. I think it will be quite interesting. I still have to read the novellas collected on Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I still have to read The Ice Dragon. I have high expectations for George R. R. Martin writing for children. Maybe it won't be as brutal as A Song of Ice and Fire. So do you enjoy George R. R. Martin's books? Do you collect A Song of Ice and Fire? Have you heard or have you read any of these books I've shown? Let me know in the comments, okay? See ya, and thanks for watching.